I'm on a journey to find the best Linux-based operating system so I can uninstall Windows and use Linux as my main operating system. So far, I have tried Ubuntu, CachyOS, and Linux Mint. I gave Ubuntu 7 out of 10, CachyOS 8, and Linux Mint 7.5. And today, I'm going to try out AnduinOS 2.0. AnduinOS is a custom Ubuntu-based Linux distribution that offers a familiar and easy-to-use experience for anyone moving to Linux. And I'm doing some changes to this journey. I'll rate the operating system after I use it. I'll basically daily drive it until I install the next one. Because just recently I broke Linux Mint install. I was trying to use the VirtualBox. I needed to install a kernel driver for VirtualBox, and there were some new updates available. After I updated the Linux Mint, it gave me this error, kernel panic. I just want to make sure that I do proper rating by actually daily driving the operating system that I'm using. And another thing, I'm not installing these operating systems on a virtual machine. I'm actually installing them on a real hardware on my main computer. I just do the dual boot with Windows. And eventually, once I find the suitable Linux-based operating system for me, I'll just switch to it. Now let's begin with the AnduinOS 2.0. I have tried this operating system once before when it was first released. I tried it in virtual machine, but today I'm going to install it on a real hardware. Now, this is a interesting operating system. This is based on Ubuntu, and it doesn't have everything that you don't like about Ubuntu, like the default layout, Snap, and this operating system is made by one of the Microsoft's employee. So without talking too much, let's download the AnduinOS 2.0. And they have also started the AnduinOS Enterprise. I'm happy for the dev. The 2.0 is based on latest Ubuntu 26.04, and it uses the Linux kernel 7. And we're going to use Ventoid to create a bootable USB drive. Okay, our bootable USB drive is ready, and let's boot from that USB drive. It lets you choose the language before you boot. That's something new for me. And this is the live CD. This is how it looks. It looks like the Windows 11. First, let's just install it to our computer and then we explore this. The installation is almost same as installing Ubuntu. Okay, the installation is complete. Let's boot into the AnduinOS. Okay, first of all, since I have 3 monitors, let me actually show you guys here. I need to figure out how to make this one the main monitor or how to duplicate monitor 1 and 3 so you guys can actually see what's happening, because I can't record 3 monitors at the same time. Now I just mirrored all of my monitors. I'll try to duplicate 1 and 3 when I daily drive it. First, let's just configure it. I think the mirror will just do fine for now. Okay, so this is the AnduinOS. Now it might look familiar because it looks like Windows 11. Yes, the wallpaper also kind of resembles Windows 11, and we have the taskbar and the start menu at the bottom, which also looks like Windows 11. And we also have similar icons like Windows 11 in the icon area. Originally, this is what Ubuntu looks like, and this is what the AnduinOS looks like. They're using the same software, same desktop environment. The AnduinOS is customized in a way that it looks like the Windows 11. Let's change the power plant to performance so we get the best performance. And let's actually go to settings and change some settings. You know, I actually prefer the settings and apps of GNOME, the desktop environment. It's simple, doesn't have too many options, and it comes with dark mode enabled by default. There is literally nothing to change in here. Even the mouse acceleration is turned off by default. Here, let's check out the file explorer. So this looks like the regular GNOME file explorer. Oh, there is a dedicated settings called AnduinOS Appearance. Oh, this is to customize the taskbar and start menu. Oh, we can have the Windows 10 style start menu. If you just don't like Windows 11, look at this. This one is much better. And you also get the preview, how it's going to look. You can also change the position, top, left, right, bottom, panel, and widget. Show weather. Oh, I don't want to show the weather. Show network. Oh, it's the download and upload speed. I want that. So it's using the extensions called Arc Menu, Dash to Panel, and Network Stats. You know what? I just like the defaults, but it's good to see that we have some customizations. Okay, let's check out the task manager. Oh, it's called Resources. I don't like this. Wish we could just have something called Mission Center as the default task manager. So let's actually install this. I like this one. If you're coming from Windows, this will feel like the Windows task manager. Check this out. This is Mission Center. This is just much better, okay, for the GUI. And even in bootloader, instead of it saying Ubuntu like it says on the other Ubuntu-based operating system, but in here it says AnduinOS, which is clean. Installing updates. Do not turn off your computer. Remember that? Usually you see this message when you're updating the Windows. This one also resembles that. Now, to be honest, out of the box, this operating system is ready to use. Okay, we need to change our web browser to Chrome because that's what I like to use. Oh, there is also Chromium. I'm sorry, Firefox, you have to go. Is there DaVinci Resolve? Nope, DaVinci Resolve is not here. I think we need to get it from the official website. Okay, let's download some AI tool. I'm gonna use OpenCode. This will help me set up a few things pretty quickly. Okay, OpenCode is installed. Let's launch it. Let's set this up. I need to sign in and we can use this for free. Let's test this out. Hello. Yes, it works. We'll use it later. Don't worry. This is very useful. Now, we need the video editor of our choice, the DaVinci Resolve. You know what? I'm going to edit this video inside AnduinOS using DaVinci Resolve. And someone actually recommended me to use this video editor on Linux. It's called Cinelera GG, Professional 8K Editing for Linux. Native 8K timeline, motion tracking, broadcast quality, color grading. So we download it and see how it looks. You know, there is this thing called Fast Fetch. We need to download that. That thing looks really cool. Let's see if we can get it from here. Fast Fetch is already newest something. It's already installed? Really? Fast Fetch is actually already installed. Can we make this like so every time when we launch a terminal, it runs the Fast Fetch? You know what? This is where we're gonna use our AI terminal. Let's launch the OpenCode here. I'm gonna ask the OpenCode to make Fast Fetch run automatically every time we launch the terminal. Done. Let's check this out. New window. Yeah, it's launching it. Every time. Let's actually close everything just to show you guys. New terminal. Yeah, it will do the Fast Fetch every time I run the terminal. Okay, the video editors are also downloaded. Let's install them. First, we're gonna install this one. I think we need to go to property and then execute as program. And let's click on launch. App image requires Fuse to run. You might still be able to run it with app image extract something. This app might not be compatible with your system architecture. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with this. Instead, I'm just gonna install the DaVinci Resolve. It's like 10 gigabytes. Hello? I've tried installing this manually before in Ubuntu. I failed. So I just used AI to do it. So that's what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna use OpenCode to install this. DaVinci Resolve Studio version 21 has been installed. Cool. Oh, we have some weird glitches going on here. You can see when I move this, there is a graphical glitch going on here. Maybe we installed something that requires a restart. So I'm gonna restart this. Now let's launch the DaVinci Resolve. Look at that, it works. I think I need to enter my license key in here. So let me find that because I'm using the studio version. Okay, it's activated and it's loaded. Now we just need to import some videos just to see if it is actually working. Your GPU memory is full. Try reducing the timeline resolution or number of characters. Hello, what happened to my GPU? It's not even giving me preview and there is no audio, but it was running better on Ubuntu. So why not in AnduinOS? It's the same thing. I'm so confused. Let me show you guys this here. When I tried Ubuntu for the first time and I installed DaVinci Resolve, it was actually working. Okay, I was able to preview my files. Look at that. And I did not get any error. So I'm pretty sure there is something that I'm not understanding. I'll probably have to configure some things manually, which I'm not a big fan of. Let's also install some games, probably Minecraft. Yeah, we'll download a Prism launcher. Okay, is there any way to play Minecraft Bedrock Edition in Linux? Minecraft Bedrock launcher. I actually want to try this. This time we're going to play Bedrock. Bedrock on Linux. It was updated 3 days ago. Look at that. They have the .deb file. I'm also going to install this. So let's launch Minecraft Bedrock launcher. Sign in with Google. I think I've already tested this. This will use APK instead of the actual Windows Bedrock editions. So no. Now let's try this one. Bedrock on Linux. Okay, this one looks different. It might be actual Windows 10 edition, the true Bedrock. So let's try hitting play to see what's going to happen. Okay, it's downloaded. It says no Microsoft account linked. Click sign into first. We actually gonna sign in and see if Bedrock edition works. Okay, we are signed in with our Microsoft account. So let's click on start. Whoa, it's actually a Bedrock edition. Can we go full screen with F11? Yes, we can. Is it using lots of system resources? Oh, okay. Oh, no. The mouse sensitivity is crazy. Let me fix that. So the Bedrock edition works. Let's quit and see. Yeah, this is the actual Bedrock edition. I actually play Bedrock edition more than the Java edition on Windows. Right now, it looks like it's playable and everything is running smoothly. Since this is not running natively, I think there is going to be a little bit of performance issue. But if you're someone who wants to play Bedrock edition on Linux, it is actually possible. And it is happening through the Wine and stuff like that. So yeah, okay. This is good. Now I just need to figure out how to fix DaVinci Resolve, and I just need to daily drive it until I install the next Linux-based operating system. And yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or have any suggestions for me, you can always do the comment and we can have some chit chat in the comment section too. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and have fun. Bye-bye.